Pretty good old to go sit down.
You like that? I like that.
Okay,
Well, welcome to Tryon Creek. My name is James Bray, and I'm the lead operator, and I'll be conducting your tour today. Tryon Creek was originally built in 1963 as an 8 MGD secondary process plant. Our various plant stats are on the sheets that I left out with an abstract of the plant flow. Pretty old, but we get real good effluent, and are kind of showcasing being at the center of the target zone for the Facilities Planning Committee, the Lake Oswego Development Commission, the Mayor's Task Force on some other thing that means hide the plant and spend money over there. I've been with City of Portland since '83, and only have a few weeks to go. Wow. So I recommend it as a great career, and I do happen to know that there are currently 7 openings with City of Portland. Having lost our most senior guy just last week, retired after 34 years. And of course, Riaz Khan, who's in the paper, he was a City of Portland employee as well. Let me see. A few places I'll give you some information before we actually walk out into the area, just because it's loud. A couple of cautionary notes: try not to touch the handrails. The birds walk across the flights and in the poo, and they get grease and stuff on their feet, and then they get up on the handrails. And so unless you're falling, don't grab them, or you get that icky stuff on your hands, and it's not the best thing. You also, if you've ever been in the industry, you want to avoid rubbing your nose and your eyes and stuff until you get a chance to wash your hands, just in case you come in contact with anything. So she's already going, ew. I like that.
She's been doing PCR. She hasn't actually been working at a plant.
Oh, cool. So, how many work somewhere else? Retreads?
Oh.
No. Nobody's ever worked in a treatment plant before, or internship. McMinnville, and you're mostly second year.
End of the first year, third term, end of the first year.
Okay. I also give the tours for Lewis and Clark, science for non-science majors, and Portland State, same one. And they're a great bunch if you like you. So, and walking around like they smell any better than we do.
Give the Portland Staters false information when they come through.
Yeah.
They got a program now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to work for his father-in-law for many years. Any questions about Tryon Creek?
Oh, you're up here then, since you're retiring.
Pretty soon.
What?
I may stay on to give tours. Our flow comes from Portland, which the line runs down through Tryon Creek State Park along to Terwilliger, underneath 43 and into the headworks. Our Lake Oswego flow comes actually across the lake, underneath the lake, and then down the road and in here. We just got through with Lake Oswego's lowest project, where they spent $100 million on 2 pump stations and about 10 miles of pipe.
Oh.
As on the chart, our base design flow is 8.6, I believe, and our mass loops are suspended at twice the design flow, 16, give or take. We sample 3 times a week for BOD and coliforms. We're still awaiting a permit, like most people are. We're a split season permit. We go to October or so, and then we go to our winter, which will be 2030, as opposed to 2020, I think. Anyway, I've got a copy of page 2 posted to the control board, so that anybody can see it, wants to see it, and when we go through the control room, you'll notice there's a distinct disparity between the technology of 1975 and the current SCADA-based technology. On the wall of the control room, there is an old abstract metal aerial view of the treatment plant with lights that would turn on as the equipment turned on, circle charts and strip charts, and then on the desk there's a SCADA node which actually runs the whole plant by itself. Back when I started in the 80s, there were 13 operators, 2 millwrights, and 2 truck drivers. We now have 4 operators, 1 millwright, and 1 truck driver. Yes, we were a 24/7 plant. Now we're operated 10 hours a day with remote backup from Columbia Boulevard and an on-call operator.
Did that just end through attrition or?
Yes, it was through attrition. And then one day they just said, we're going to get rid of this shift and kind of shuffle things around. I'm kind of the last new guy to work with the old guys, so now I'm the old guy. And waiting for the new guys. Maybe one of you or 2 of you will work at Tryon Creek sometime in the lofty future. But as I tell all the new guys, can you say 2034? Anyway, let's take a walk through the control room. And on the right, as we walk down the hallway, there's pictures of the '96 flood. And then we'll go through the file through the control room. You can see the old stuff on the left and the SCADA node. The philosophy of the SCADA system is that you don't want to have to click more than two times to get to any part of the treatment plant or the control process. I understand that's pretty common. I recently saw my first look at WonderWorks, which pretty much runs the same thing. Have you been to Oklahoma?
Yes.
That same primary-less technology is being bandied about from here in the 2040 plan. Yokogawa technology came in about 10 years after this, and
It's like a nuclear launch facility.
Yokogawa. And then the SCADA, we actually just got a second computer out here. It's sort of an abstract aerial view of the treatment plant. If you start from the top left and work across to primary treatment, secondary treatment, chlorination, disinfection, and then solids handling, and the automated truck loading facility. It's kind of backwards for most factory things. If it's red, it's running. It's not red does not mean stop. Green does not mean go. Green means safe, and red means it's running. And then we can run trending of all our processes. Some of them are recallable by history, and some are current.
No, these are gone.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering.
All this stuff is now on these. What are the bottom? It looks like
Digital controllers as well.
Yes, this is our automated truck loading facility. They just gave us a new communication system that is only 16 years old. So we're really happy with that. And if you want to just go out into the process lab, I can get the next bunch. No fair, you bid.
Put us down, clarify. A little bit better.
Hey.
No. Yeah,
He's been in school.
Hung out with Mr. Peabody here quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Not so much Boris right over there. Rocking the recovery.
Which one had the time machine? Or that was this one too?
No, that was
What was the one that had the?
that was with the dog.
Yeah. Scientific dogs.
That are time sensitive. The rest of the samples we send to the Water Pollution Control Laboratory in St. John's. So we do chlorine residual and pH over there behind the big guys, and have a nice microwave balance. Behind Jackson there is our stat board. That's what the staff uses every day to pretty much let us know where we are. We're all on the same page. So you got the daily solids, a 3-day run on average, the number of trucks we waste, because we have to waste into 6,000 gallon trucks. We don't have 24/7 wasting, and actually our equipment won't run that slow anyways. And then our running SVI, we're shooting for about 175 to 200. We're just coming down off of the cold weather, so we're going to a increasingly younger sludge on about a monthly basis. I don't like to make changes more than 2 weeks apart, or less than 2 weeks apart. Bugs being alive, they hate trauma, and any change is trauma. So you do things slow and try to not knee jerk them, and you get real good results. A little respect for the little guys.
You say the truck's wasting, so that is just strictly, I mean, are you making biosolids or anything?
Yes, we have a 2-meter Ashbrook gravity belt wasting system, which we will go by, and our trucks are 6,000 gallons. So we kind of calculate things out at approximately 5%. A 6,000 gallon truck is worth about 2,500 pounds of dry solids. So, and funnily enough, six trucks at 5% equals 5 trucks at 6%. It costs money to haul water. So, but on the other hand, you don't want to get it so thick that the driver has trouble getting it out of the truck. Besides, he hates that. And he put up a sign over there that says, "Truck driver runs the plant," up there on the top. So if we make it too thick, he gives us a lot of trouble. And it doesn't make any sense to add a bunch of water to it to get it out.
Yeah.
But all our solids go to Columbia Boulevard, and
How'd you talk them into that?
that was their idea.
Oh.
So we don't do any, we do digestion of only our primary sludge, and our raw toise goes over by truck. We generate approximately about 2,000 pounds overnight, and then 2,000 pounds during the regular day hours. Yeah.
So do they make, how do they treat their solids over at Columbia? Are they class 2?
They have the same system that we do, only more of them and bigger, and then they have digestion.
Right.
And a land application program in Boardman, Oregon.
Okay, so
I think it's Boardman.
they do the class 2 biosolids?
Yes, yes. Used to run that Talman Weiss composter, but it got to be too expensive. That was a really miserable place to work. You guys, when you get out in the field working, you'll find the places that you like and don't like, believe me. And the conditions, processes. It's not like it used to be when I was starting out. You don't really have to go into anything anymore with the remote controls, the computer programs. You know, just got to be able to read a screen and pay attention to what's going on. Let's head out the door and out in the plant. Primary effluent pump station at the top of the hill to secondary treatment, biological treatment. Secondary clarifiers are over there. Chlorine disinfection is just here, just barely at the top of the hill. And then chlorine contact chambers and out. So it makes a big circle on the property. We're 12 point whatever acres. Our digesters here are strictly primary sludge, primary digestion, and a settling tank, heated and mixed, just contained with solid covers, not floating. And we use our gas for our boiler, and that's pretty much it. Grit removal and a dump truck. We make 2 trips a week to Hillsboro, real early in the morning when it's cold and it doesn't smell good. Right now we're configuring the plant for a summer operation. We're taking off excess plants or excess tanks offline and paring it down to the minimum for summer. That way we can shut some drives off and get the summer maintenance going. And
that usually occurs same time every year?
Yeah, we have a regular schedule, although we keep trying to do it earlier. You know, we just had this last rain kind of slowed us down. Okay.
Hey, there you go.
It's warm today.
the sixth flood, this was about this deep. Right here. We managed to get here before the water started coming up, and we plastic barricaded the buildings and added extra pumps to keep the basements dry. We got flooding, but we were able to keep the equipment dry. The drives and the MCC. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. You know, that's happened before. You just call. Jerry! Yeah. Very good. Fortunately, everything in the treatment plant drains into the plant. All of the catch basins and stuff all drain into the processes.
Hey Jackson, grab the hose.
Yeah, Jackson.
Do that. You paid overtime.
You're a public servant.
Good eyes. Good eyes.
Yeah, Jerry, you got a burp on
So that's the consistency you want, huh?
number 3 truck that we're all looking at, and I think someone's going to go
You gotta light it on fire.
happened. That's not bad, actually. Before we got the computer, you had to stand up on top of the truck and look down the hole, and then try to get off of the truck and over the sludge processing and turn the pumps off before it overflowed. We all had Ironman watches with countdown timers. It took an hour and 11 minutes to load a truck with 2 pumps.
step to run over there.
Yeah, well, I was thinner then. A lot thinner then.
So that's all loaded by the computer then?
Yes, the SCADA system allows you to select what truck you want and what in it and in what order that you want. Wow. And fills the trucks, flushes the lines, and then drains everything back down.
So is that an overfill, or is it actually like burping out?
That's an overfill. Actually, that burped on me last week, and I'm going to have to find out why. There may be a glitch in the totalizer. Which all of this stuff is pretty old. They're not wanting to spend because they're anticipating maybe. Anyway, when we go up the ladder here, you notice that the screenings are on the right; they stink. But you will notice that the water coming in, if you're brave enough, just kind of take a light inhale. You notice that with the characteristics of our influent, it's kind of an earthy sort of smell. It's not that septic funk. Yeah, it's just kind of a dirt smell, and then we'll just walk past that because it's kind of loud, and go over to the empty clarifier, so you'll be able to see how the chain and flight system moves the floatables across the top, and then all the settlables down to a collection point in the bottom of the tank.
No, I just
Something septic is usually an indication that there's a problem somewhere up the line. They have blocking.
You know what? I ran my day.
You put the rags in the back. Figure out it's not fruit over there. We'll just go ahead and keep going. They were, belt and chain, grip removal. Grip removal is those 2 cyclones up on the stand over there. Yeah. Yeah, that's the crows. Pick the rags off and carry them around. That is a good system. When I came here, you had to hand it. Well,
we're under construction. We go down here, we go to cut the fence.
No, Tina, don't touch the rail.
Okay.
Too late. Uh-oh.
Oh, dude.
Get me on film, brother. Want it forever.
What? Wire here? Drive pulled everything right underneath that axle down there, so we had to have the cane cut. This company had to come out with a crane and rip all this stuff out.
Is that the...
Had a stack like that at each end.
Why not?
Well, more brick. There it is. There it is.
It's also a magazine. These two used to be aeration, they are now primary firefighters. I've been told. And that's why they changed the bottom so that it would have the same dimensions as the top. So the flights would fit top and bottom. So you can see then over here on the right, there's a little screw auger affair that pulls everything down to a suction point that goes to our primary sledge building.
Yeah, I don't see the
You can see it
screw
better.
auger.
We don't have that kind of stuff anymore.
Screw auger, yeah.
Now there's the thing for remoting.
Yeah, whatever Can Float does, whatever will start.
Man, you're looking sharp today, Ken.
Thanks a lot.
I didn't even recognize you.
You know, that's the way it is sometimes.
It does look good.
Good looking man, isn't he?
Yeah, Ken, you're not messing around.
Proportional.
That's right. You know why I had class this morning.
Good bill.
Presentations.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's going on to the next project. Yeah. That building over there is the primary effluent building, and it's pumping the effluent from this tank to the top of the hill into the aeration basins.
On the scraping stone.
No, we skim a couple of times a week, and we check the roof 24, right? Very good.
I feel like I did.
From the minute.
That's exactly it. It's been amazingly helpful.
I'm doing my all the solid from this side.
Just the piece. The stuff that settles goes to our primary digester over there after treatment. We typically got a turbidity of less than 3, and overall efficiency rating better than 98%.
It's a good little plant.
We of course have had 40 years to figure out how to do it.
You said Columbia's where you took your fog?
We send all our solids. When we get over here in our effluent channel, that's kind of interesting. You can see the primary effluent and then the finished product leaving the plant as kind of a contrast between the color and characteristics going out. But the house was destroyed in the '96 flood, and he never rebuilt it. Metro, City of Portland, and Lake Oswego bought the property as buffer zone. There's our outfall. cycle. They get the leaves and stuff in it now and then.
Actually, now it's like that.
This is the stuff over the river, been chlorinated and allowed time to work. Over here is primary effluent and final effluent. So there's a, look going over the weirs, you can see a distinct color difference.
So how would you guys have this?
We have strict limits and have to monitor. This is we're allowed a monthly heat of 0.7 milligrams per liter and a daily peak of 0.7. Dumps it off on the spoil spot. No, this was originally designed this as a septic sludge receiving station for the pumpers, and then decided not to do it.
There's no extra money that way, huh?
No, and that's a nasty job to deal with, and it's tough for them to get back here.
Yeah.
And we've got a fish counting project over there where they're counting fish running up Tryon Creek that have been hit with a chip. They were chipped as smolts, and now they're marking which ones come back.
Now this is the creek right here.
Yeah. And they come in about once a month, hold their data, and check their equipment. You can probably see the counting array just over the hill. It's nice to be able to participate. Portland Parks does that. Sometimes they even get all the way back in. We have one of the guys, a senior parks guy, and when they take a plant that's in a pot downtown, like they're heading for the shipper because it's too big, he rescues them and plants the mature plants out here. So. You know, if you ever want to see something funny, watch a full-blown deer climbing over one of those fences. Find one with all 4 feet on that front bar.
Friday we saw 3 deer up on the top
Yeah.
hill.
One year we planted tomatoes up on top, and they got to be about this tall, and a mama deer came in and she ate them right down the sticks. About a month later, she had 2 fawns, which we promptly named Tomato and Tomato.
There you go.
Tomato run rampant around here for the rest of that summer. And we haven't seen them again, but they were. It was interesting to have. You know, they were about this big, and you'd be walking around in the plant, and all of a sudden there's this little deer darts out of the bushes and tears off across the yard. And at first you think it's a big dog or a coyote. Primary effluent pump station pumps the primary effluent to the top of the hill. There are 5 pumps. 2 are variable speed pumps, and it's an automated system based on the level in the tank. So as the wet well in here goes higher and higher, the pump speed goes up or down as necessary, unless it reaches the top speed of the pump, where it triggers another pump and the whole process sets up again. Should they actually, and we have gotten into a storm situation where you need them all, the second variable speed pump will come in as a fixed speed pump. The variable pump with the huge drive section is an experimental magnetic drive that works real well unless it has to pump slow. That doesn't, the magnetic field falls off when the pump has to pump slow. But when you've got 10 MGD, it's a great pump to have on your side.
Yeah, when the trucks are on the full side, they tend to leak a little water.
Oh.
So we just try to keep the odor down a little bit.
What was that we just passed? All the pumps down there?
That's the primary effluent pump station.
How do you say that, Mark? Abba?
ABBA. That's from our old tank, our old building naming system.
What did that stand for? What was that?
Aeration basin.
Okay.
We're just gonna take a quick walk into the blower building. We have 3 Turbolex variable speed, variable vane blowers. You may notice that they're surprisingly quiet. You can't hear them very well out here. They're pretty quiet inside too. We spec these particular units out because they have the same ones at Columbia Boulevard, thinking that if we needed maintenance from Columbia, it would be the same unit, only smaller. They have touchscreen control systems, and from the main control panel just next to the door on the left as we walk in, you can control all their aspects rather than running all the way back into the SCADA mode.
Craig.
There's the main control panel right there, and then each unit has a module on it.
How many are running right now?
One. Generally only one run.
You just cycle between those three?
Yeah, try to rotate them every couple of thousand hours. Yeah.
Hey, neighbors never hear it when they just
Not at
let
all.
the soundproofing in here.
Yeah. The motor runs in front.
Get the intern over here.
We're going to go up on the aeration basins next. It's a little loud going up there, but we have aeration basins are divided into 4 basins and 2 trains, the feed end and the discharge end. If it's necessary, we needed extended air or something, we could add a 3rd basin onto one train. We have not figured out how to run just one basin yet. Each basin is 729,000 gallons, and it's divided. The first basin is divided into 4 quadrants with 2 selector zones that are mechanically mixed as well as air mixed, followed by one air mixed section, goes through a butterfly gate and then into a large tank that is just air mixed. We have the ability to, we're running in a plug flow method right now, but we have the ability to do oxygen stabilization or sort of a modified step feed. They're looking at putting in bio-P room. Looking at the new one. Biophosphate. Actually, all it would take is one pump and one pipe. You know, it gets to be complicated. City engineers could triple the price nearly if they really want to.
And James, you guys ever take interns on?
Yes, we do.
Got one now.
Yeah, Jackson was our intern last time. In fact, we had Doc Palmer out here. He was 92. Yeah, he was great. He was an ex-doctor of pathology, and he'd been retired for about 25 years. So he really didn't do computers well, but his scope techniques were incredible. We learned a lot having him out here with his microscope techniques. Really get the best out of our microscope. Yeah, we shamelessly steal any good idea that comes along.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep, stew for you.
No, because there's a biofuel like our water. Because you can actually boil the water.
Okay, the channel here is, you see it over there, it's as deep as, this is a feed channel where I'm standing on. It's as deep as the tanks, and there are two mechanical mixers in it. The flow goes in the center area, and we're running one selector zone right now, out to the end and back, through this butterfly gate, and then through a steel diffuser, channels the flow into that area so that it uses the whole tank and then out at the other end. All the quadrants are wired for DO, and therefore in our DO control system.
This is an actual that pump at the end there that's kind of the old.
No, there's a seam in the concrete that catches the air from several diffusers, which are underneath the old weir, and so it comes up as one channel of air. You can see it on the empty tank. You can get over there, you'd be able to see that same thing. They didn't think it was worthwhile to fill that in.
What kind of diffusers are in?
We have the sanitaire neoprene rubber diffusers, and you can
Fine air.
I try to keep a foot or two of air over them to protect them, foot or two of water over them to protect them from UV, and then a little DO bubbling them up to discourage the insects. But they're a diffuser about this big with a rubberized material that has slices in it. When you have positive pressure behind it, those slices open up and like siping on a tire, and allow the air to get out. But when the air is shut off, they close up again so you don't get any infiltration into it. We tried ceramic diffusers, but as soon as you turn the air off, the weight of the water above them just impacts the solids right into it. These things have been in for 7 years, and we haven't changed them. Anyway, I guess it's kind of beyond it. Well, there are it's not that it doesn't have a whole kind of different sanitary.
Like slits.
I just drew a picture.
Slits, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the system. It's sanitary. So you can see the empty tanks are pretty deep. We got these Merck stern cruisers down here to mix the tank when there's no air around. So feeds in here, goes down to the end, across the back. Keeps short circuiting through this first part of the tank, and then out over the weirs at the other end. If we had to have 3 tanks, there's a butterfly valve at the end,
So we could go through these two tanks into this and out this way. And we're already wired for DO.
What are you using these for?
They're just standby.
Oh, okay.
When we have a storm, rather than bypass the flow, we will store 1.5 million gallons, which is usually enough to get us through any minor storm.
Oh, we can see him down there now.
Yeah.
John.
The crop that's on the
Yeah, there's one in the black. Also, there's one in this is running on the
Oh my God.
no, well, to move the floatables down to the other end. You can tell there's a little foam. I don't know if you've had your biological process control. Usually if you got a dark brown kind of slimy foam is indicative of an old sludge. A white sudsy, like dish soap foam, is indicating a real young sludge. We don't waste on the lead edge, so we get a little bit on the old side, and then make up for it during the week. But you can see it's stretched. But this morning, with just 3 trucks, this was pretty much covered, and about a third of the way up this tank, where there was no water visible, and just one day's wasting has moved that concentration of foam and changed the sludge age all the way to the other end of the tank. It's always surprised me how fast you can get a change in a process. Well, that's a Danfoss DO probe. It's a ball with a DO probe right in the center. It has veins on it, so the motion of the water will help keep the sensor.
What level DO are you trying to usually keep it at? About how much?
About 1.5 or less. Sludge age about 2.6 days.
Once you taste it, I bet you it tastes like it too.
Teenagers.
Might get a little bit of ice cream in there, but
If you wanted to nitrify and denitrify, we could do it easily, but it costs more in electricity to pump that much DO in. And our permits never required it, and so we just haven't done it. We've got enough blower power to blow the water out of the tanks. If we really want to do it.
is that where most of your energy cost is?
Yeah, that's the big one, is running those electric blowers. Probably not. This system is a pretty rock solid method, and you find it in a lot of places. Parts are off the shelf, nothing experimental or one of a kind. Those when you're working in the field, you'll find out that cutting edge technology, one of a kind, custom built, those are maintenance killers. They'll ruin your whole day when they say, well, we got this one-off blower, you can't get parts for it. I grab at every meeting for that. No experimental technology. No one of a kind, no custom built. If someone else hasn't been using it for 5 years, I don't want to see it in my plant.
Questions on secondary process?
I think it's the best part of the job, the most interesting. Getting to play around in the lab and being the process control guy. If I want to try something a little different, I don't tell anybody, I just do it. It's running the whole plant, it really is. This is the major part of the work. Well, this is the biggest part of the work.
Rail, come on.
All right.
Just don't watch it. I'm already in 2D, man.
Yeah, my knee. No, come on.
Well, he drinks it.
See that seam right there? In the original construction of this plant, these were 4 independently operated complete mix tanks with mechanical aeration and splash mixers. 40 horse splashers, and there was each tank was fed from the center and then splashed over into the weir and out, and so they just left them. And they took the weir
plates off, so it lowered everything about 5 inches.
Oh.
So you can see where the top water comes through and then the bottom of this thing. And the gate in there is as big as the wide section of stainless steel. It's a big gate.
So you never completely drain it?
Oh yes, yes we do. When we shift into using this tanks, we'll drain this other one completely down and clean it, and then put plant water in it. This was just getting ready to change. We didn't change it this year because our mag meters were original equipment, and every time they turn one off, it breaks and doesn't work again. But they take a long time to get new ones.
They just alternate on and off on a switch on an hourly basis. Here in the next week or two, we will take one of these down, clean it, put it back online, and then take the other one down and leave it off for the rest of the summer. So we'll go down to the 2 primaries. We've already taken care of that part, and then one secondary, 1 contact chamber, and the rest of the equipment will be off the same. And of course, no, they're parallel. Yes. And all of these little spots down here that look like grass are actually gooseberry that sat out in the sun and been rained on. Now, since Carl retired, we don't have near as many. There's a couple of them out there. He used to feed it, so we'd have 80 or 90 of these things out on the lawn.
That's what it did. So the outside of the ring is this feeds the inside. Okay. This one's going slow though. The one that we take next door is moving quite along. Good paddle. We'll check it out. Compare and contrast here.
Hey, look,